Hello, Guru Nation, and welcome back. I'm here with West Valley Research. Live. This is a live interview. People have forgotten what these are like post-COVID. So, Lee, why don't you introduce West Valley and the PI that you got here? You got a great PI. You got a great team here. Can you tell us a little bit about West Valley?
Yeah, we're a site. We've been open since October of last year. I think we have 4 coordinators now, 3 PIs. One of them is here with us. It's Dr. Bujak. We're doing really well with COVID studies. We do asthma studies. We do women's studies. I don't want to get into specifics on those, but
yeah, no, let's not.
We do a variety of trials. So
okay, and how did you guys meet, Dr. Bujak?
That's actually that's a really interesting story because we can trace back where this idea originated to a birthday party at my house for my twins, and Lee's daughter went to school with my kids, and he showed up at my house, and we talked, and I was a physician, and I don't think he even initially talked to me about this idea, but somehow got talking to my wife and came up with an idea of a clinical research facility and pitched it, and we thought it was a good fit for our practice and for our community, and here we are. I guess my kids just had their birthday, so it's been a year. We've known each other for about a year.
So networking is, this just goes to show you networking, especially with how Lee did it. And Lee, I mean, for those that don't know, Lee's always on the Latinos in Research Zoom calls. So if you want to meet Lee, just go on the next Latinos in Clinical Research Zoom call. But always talk, like you want more opportunities for research, just talk to more people about research. It's simple advice you can translate to almost any industry, real estate included, which is my bro-in-law here. Fun fact, this guy was on one of my first videos in 2011. We interviewed a patient who had some rare disease, and then we were talking because you were the EMT.
Correct.
So you were like the clinical expert because I'm no clinical expert. So what do you think about that, Lee? Always be talking to more people about research if you want more opportunities?
I think so, yeah. I think researchers need to talk to the general public so it doesn't have such a bad name because it needs more patience.
Yes.
People don't recognize the opportunity.
So the way Lee met you, Dr. Bujak, was like you didn't have your guards up. It's not like he walked in wearing a suit in your office, and that's like immediate turnoff, right?
Yeah. Well,
somebody comes in here wearing a suit. What do you think?
Oh yeah, especially. Depends what kind of suit, what they look like, and what they're trying to get out of me. And usually people come in and they pitch ideas, and majority of those ideas have major flaws in them. And if you've been in practice long enough, you've kind of seen enough that you see those. But they usually come with a request for money and for there's a promise of some kind of benefit, but there's also an investment that's required. Lee asked for space. He asked for our time. He asked for our support, but there wasn't a monetary investment. Lee came in and took care of that himself, and and we're open to trying new things, and so we went with it, and here we are a year later.
And for the sites watching, let's say somebody in Iowa, what's the advice you have? Because before we started recording, you were saying something interesting. Most doctors, I think we combined 2 beliefs we have. You about the doctors and why they're hesitant maybe, or why they're going about it the wrong way when people approach doctors about research, and me about the stat that's like 80% of physicians who do their first study never do their second study. So what do you think is the cause of this?
So most doctors that I know anyway, they don't work one job. They work multiple jobs. You have your office job in a day, you have your call at the hospital that you're taking, and then for me, I deliver babies at night. So, and then on top of that, we have our family, our life. We need to be businessmen. We need to take care of our retirement. There's not a lot of time to have extra projects on the side. And we are proud people, we don't go into medicine. Most people don't go into medicine because it's going to be a way to make money. They go into medicine because they feel it's something that is going to help people. It's something that it's a noble job. There is we do get something out of it. We do get some respect out of it, but we're very sensitive when it comes to a claim that we're doing something for money. The money sometimes comes with the work, and sometimes it's more difficult to get that money. But you cannot approach a physician, I think the wrong way to approach a physician is with a budget and with expenses and with.
That's the wrong way to approach. Starting with the budget.
The right way to do it is to find what motivates them, what drives them, and usually it's patient care, and it's usually feeling good about what they did at the end of the day. And so I started. Initially, I was a little bit skeptical, and I know there are studies that we're running that I can tell we've been doing them long enough that I suspect and I'm quite certain that they're of benefit to the patient. But what really convinced me that we were doing a good thing for the community was when we had a study that I felt was not going to do well. We're going to have a hard time recruiting people. The reimbursement or the compensation for the patient, the stipend for their time, because we don't pay people for participating, but we do pay them for their time, and it helps get them back and get them and get the proper data. It wasn't very much for what I felt for what they were asked to do. And that study, we needed to put in 40 patients involved, recruited, and I think it took us 7 days, maybe maximum 10 days to find 40 patients. I realized that my perspective on what's good for the patient, what is appropriate compensation, what the benefit is, was not an accurate perspective. And I actually enrolled 2 friends of mine in that clinical trial, and they both thanked me for thinking of them because at a time when they were struggling, they were able to participate in this trial, and there was some benefit to them. And so, it made me feel warm and fuzzy about participating. It made me realize that even the trials where I feel like maybe there isn't a medical benefit to the person participating, there is in the end a benefit to them, and so I'm both feet in and happy to be participating, and we're doing good work. We're providing medication, treatment, medical care to people that wouldn't otherwise get it, and in the end, it's something that's easy to get behind.
And you said you were skeptical at first. What was it that made you skeptical? Was it what Lee said? Something Lee said, or
no?
Just...
I felt that maybe some trials would be beneficial to patients, and some would not be, and I didn't feel like I could in good conscience enroll people in something that I didn't think was beneficial for them. And I realized I was making a decision for the subject, and I was assessing their position, their need, their willingness to participate, and with my biases, and I was coming to the wrong conclusion. And the way that I look at trials right now is there's benefit to the community, there's benefit to the people getting medical care, there's benefit to science.
Underserved too. You're in an underserved area here.
And I think it's all across. It's everyone is able to basically get something out of it, and that way it's a lot easier to participate and find a motivation to do the extra work.
Wow, that's awesome to get a doctor's take on this, principal investigator's take. Lee, we were talking earlier today, as we wrap up, there's a psychological barrier to entering research, but not an actual skill base or knowledge base. It's just psychological. Like, you think you need more resources than what you actually need to start a research clinic. right? By far.
Excuse me. Yeah, by far. I think I actually like that there's a barrier to entry because.
So even psychological barriers.
Yeah, let's not tell
It's just-
anybody. You're
it's
any
really-
competition.
This is just the internet. It's not a big deal.
No, it's not. And now people are intimidated by it. They shouldn't be, but it is. It's a weird mix. I think what's unique about this industry, where there's a lot of opportunity for someone who's a serial entrepreneur like myself, is that most people that come from scientific or biology type backgrounds that fit well in research are a lot more introverted. So they don't go out and make things happen, which is why they don't deliver patients. Most sites don't enroll. Don't enroll like re-enroll, and it's because they don't get out in the community and reach out to patients like we do. Some do, but most I see don't. They're really low enrolling. Most of them fail to enroll any patients on studies. So.
Serial entrepreneur, and I make the connections. And so, if anybody wants to start a research clinic and needs consultation, I will offer lease services. My number. And it will be at a reasonable price. We will,
Predetermined
help you get
price
through the psychological barrier.
After we get our cuts too. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you guys, you have a website or something?
They can email me, Chris at theclinicaltrialsguru.com.
Okay, I'll put the link underneath. Chris will love this. And Chris, I hope you're hearing this, Chris. Doctors don't care about budget right away, at least. At least right away. They do care later, not right away.
You can email info@wvrclinic.com.
Okay.
And you can put a link to my
LinkedIn?
Yep.
Okay, Lee's LinkedIn underneath the show notes. Marty, my bro-in-law, you got any final questions here? As somebody maybe thinking, I don't know, maybe thinking about starting a clinic, I don't know.
Well, first of
Surprise
all, I
might
don't
need
know
one.
anything about clinical trials, but I do know a little bit about other stuff.
Yeah.
Very informative. I'm very grateful and thankful to be here to listen to these two great gentlemen that are just here to help out the community, which it's in really like high need and stuff, So
Super underserved. We can do like a
underserved.
video tour outside.
Yeah, and if I can if I can help in any way, I'm bilingual and I can walk around, door knock people, and bring them in. So there we go.
There we go. Thank you guys. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Give some credit to him. He's a firefighter. He talks about helping the community.
He's a surprise fire. He's been, man, you were on one of the first videos I ever did. You were like on 3 videos. So
I was.
You're clinical as you can get, like you're first responder.
I am. So I've been with Surprise Fire for about 16 years now. And we run anything and everything, obviously, right? From behavioral to very ill people, medical.
Yeah.
Obviously, house fires are very hard to get anymore, but it's more about medical anymore. But what we see on the streets now or on our calls is a lot of SIs, a lot of behavioral issues with not only young age, where we used to see them in their 20s, now in their 10s or maybe earlier than that. So we just, try to figure out exactly what protocols we can use and how doctors, as researchers, can come out with new studies that can help those kind of patients, that we can put out on pre-hospital care before taking them to the hospital. So.
And that community out there is underserved too.
That is underserved, yes. There's a couple of behavioral facilities that they're overwhelmed and stuff. So, basically sometimes we can't even put, our patients into a facility because there's nowhere to take them. So the nearest place we can take them is to the hospital. They got to stay there for 72 hours. So.
A lot of opportunities out here, guys. But thank you guys very much. Again, Lee's LinkedIn underneath the show notes. And talk to you all later. Bye-bye.